1. Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
My bite's not close to my bark, buddy. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. For being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
I have a question for you. If you woke up this Friday morning and you looked in your bank account and there was $10,080 magically there, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. But the only stipulation is you have to spend it all in 1 week and it'll be gone. And then the following week, you'll get another $10,080 deposited, and so on and so on. You can spend it however you want. Or if you don't spend it, it disappears. Would you spend every cent every week, or would you allow it to be wasted and taken away from you? Well, guys, this Friday, you're going to wake up and there's going to be 10,080 minutes that God has given you for the next week. And you can spend them however you want, or you can simply waste them. Guys, I highly suggest that you spend every minute of next week doing amazing things, and don't allow 1 minute to be squandered, because you never know when God won't deposit another 10,080 minutes in your life, guys. Go out and live a great life.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube and Twitter. Nice to see you all here this wonderful Saturday morning, 6:30. What are we doing up so darn early on a Saturday? No, our day to sleep in, right? We don't even have a big crew here because everybody's hungover. They got the Coyote Ugly going on, right? Chewing off the arm. Chewing off the old arm. JB's mama, good morning. Good morning. Southern Granny Wolf, Shannon Perez, good morning. November Rain, good morning. Good morning. Pen 1010 is up in the house. Maddie Down, always up early in the morning, along with Sweetie Pie. Michelle, good morning. Lutens, good morning. Good morning. Net L, good morning to you as well. Sandra, good morning. Big old hearts to each and every one of you guys, the ones that decide to get up at 6:30 on a Saturday morning. How many more of us are this crazy? I'm just curious. So I got to be honest with you. I'm looking, we've been following the Brian Kohberger case. It was the Idaho 4 when we started with it. We were one of the first content creators. Outside of Chris McDonough, which is more, he's more of a investigator, criminal investigator, homicide investigator than he is a YouTuber. And he takes people on the, I guess he is a YouTuber. Who am I fooling, right? Who am I fooling? Chris McDonough, you're a YouTuber. Don't lie. No. But we were one of the first content creators out there on the ground, boots on the ground when this case was breaking in Moscow, Idaho. And this case has just been, it's really rocked our communities. This happens so far away from me, but it personally has affected me and has moved me emotionally to be involved and attached to this. Bookworm, good morning. Good morning. Mama Shell Bell, good morning to you. And I love positive vibes. I don't know why. I think your name just rings true this Saturday morning. We want positive vibes. So we went out there, a lot of people, this was a lot of speculation. This was a brutal attack on 4 university students that, for all intents and purposes, were sleeping, right? They were in the comfort of their home. They felt safe. They all had a great time. One of them had graduated. They were out. There was a lot of different events going on in and around this weekend with a lot of the fraternities and the sororities with dances and get-togethers and gatherings. So it was just a fun university time where people love to live the university life. When I talked to my little sister, she was going to college. Many of you know my little sister is significantly younger than I am. And so she was going to college. And she was so close. I'm like, why are you living on campus? And it was all about the university experience. This is really, I keep forgetting, this is the first opportunity for these young kids to kind of feel independent, to start, taking everything that they learned, growing up and from their parents and living, right? And finally getting away from mom and dad and doing some wild, crazy things like throwing house parties and, having cops called because your radio is up too loud and things of that nature. So it's the anniversary of Idaho deaths in a couple days. Yes, guys, got to remember, 2 days, 2 more days, we are going to be I shouldn't even say celebrating. I mean, it's not celebrating. It's mourning, right? It's just straight mourning. But it's going to be the mourning day of 4 beautiful souls that lost their life at the hands of a monster. And that monster is Brian Koberger. Allegedly, right? He's not convicted yet. And I'm going to say that because if anybody's been plugged in and reads the, I think in this world, people are very creative. Okay. People live in a sci-fi world this day and age. Why? Because that's what the directors and the producers produce for our young children. An euphoria, a utopia, an existence that's not real. Right? So you've got people think that law enforcement are dubious, right? They think that because there's one person that did something in Michigan or whatever state and it blew up, all law enforcement are just out to get the people, out to pick on a PhD student, right? they're out to just, I don't know what they think. Okay, I really don't. But the reality is law enforcement, they're not allowed to lie under oath. Okay. No law enforcement that has a pension and, time on the job is willing to give that up. In the mind of them, it's like this. We do our best. We collect the evidence we can collect. We turn that over and we give it to the prosecutor and they have to make the case with what we give them. They're not manufacturing evidence, like you see in fictional movies, mob movies where they got law enforcement. Are there law enforcement like that around the country? I would say yes. Okay, I'm not taking that away. Yes, we got corruption. We got a lot of corruption across this country. I get it. I hear you. But why Brian Koberger? I mean, there were so many other low-hanging fruit that would have made more sense and we would all have been hook, line, and sinker and believed it. I mean, if law enforcement was going to manufacture evidence and plant evidence, right? Then why did they do it to somebody that was more low-hanging fruit than some oddball person nobody heard of? So we did a lot of investigative research on this case. We went out there a few times. Chronicles of Olivia and I partnered up and teamed up and went out there. We had, of course, JLR on the other end of the phone, helping and guiding us to talk to certain people. And that we did, and it was JLR that got us in contact with the RSO out there in Moscow. So, there was just a lot of, joint effort in trying to find out the truth. It was a lot of joint effort in trying to find out the truth. But I got to tell you, when we got out there, we did not think it was the kids. But I digress. Again, if we were going to plant evidence on somebody, wouldn't it be like Jake or Jack D or Jack S? I mean, the people that were in and around her if we were going to do this, if law enforcement was really, hey, TD, if law enforcement was really going to do this, why not set them up? Why not make them the fall guy? Why Brian Koberger at Wazoo? So we're learning today that throughout the news media, the news cycle, good morning, Alabama mama, MJ, I missed you. Sorry. Ex-sailor. Good morning, y'all. It's nice to have you. So we're learning, and we've talked about it on this show. We went and showed videos of law enforcement going up and knocking on their door. It was part of our investigative research to try to identify any persons of interest in their life that could have possibly done this horrible, horrific crime. Because remember, they were murdered on November 13th. 2 days from now will be 1 year, the 1 year milestone of this horrific event, right? The 1 year milestone of this horrific event, 2 days. He was not identified by his car until November 29th. That was in the early morning hours, right about midnight on the 29th, was when the Wazoo officer phoned in a tip that there was a car that matched their description of the car that they were looking for. Remember, they were looking for a very specific car. Many of us were just looking for a white Honda, right? Because we didn't have the information such as them not having a license plate on the front of the car. Oh, awesome. We love it. Thank you. 2 more months and you'll be hearing me sing you a tune. A happy birthday. Happy birthday, right? So we find out that this Wazoo officer, this police officer that's like security for there, but they're licensed, they're legit law enforcement officers. They're not private security, they're law. And so they call in and they say, hey, we got this car here and it does kind of match your description. And it comes back to a Brian Koberger that lives here at the Steptoe Apartments at blah, 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 blah. First time law enforcement heard the Brian Koberger name, according to the probable cause affidavit, was on November 29th. November 29th. So we did not know. They kept all that from us. Many people kept speculating, even at this point in time, November 29th. People are still speculating. It's got to be Jack D, Jake, or Jack S, Jake, yeah, blah, 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 right? Everybody. Hunter. It had to be Hunter. Maybe it was Ethan's brother, Hunter. I loved that one. They got into a fight. I just the crazy came out in this case. But we knew that the house over at Moscow, in off of King Road, 1122 King Road, right? We knew that they were popular. We learned through our research that this is known as a party house. It really is. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's been known to be that long before these kids ever even lived in this home. It wasn't a party house because they moved in, okay? It was just a sorority house. Sorority kids lived in it. We know that sorority kids do what? What do sorority kids do on a university campus? What do they do? I'm just curious. Do they go to school? Do they work? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they throw house parties on the weekend, right? Maybe they do things like pong. What is it? Ping pong drinking? I don't know what these young kids do anymore. I'm old as dirt, right? I'm old as dirt. I'm an old geezer now, right? Good morning, Pittsburgh nurse. Nice to see you. So I'm reading on the news, trying to figure out, we haven't really talked about the Brian Koberger case in a while. And so I'm sitting here on the Daily Mail and I'm reading this and, we discussed this. We discussed defense strategies here. Beer pong. Thank you. Yes, beer pong. Isn't that what the university kids do these days? Like the beer pong? I don't know. I don't know. Can you imagine Bullhorn Betty at a university? I don't know. I always attract attention wherever I go, but I honestly think this day and age, like I'm really like prudy and stuff. People don't realize that. I really am. And I think I might have if I was in a university this day and age and I was raised in our school system this day and age, I truly believe that you guys would see Bull Betty on Girls Gone Wild. Because that's what we're creating this day and age, right? That's what we're creating. I need to stop. You guys remember that? Oh, that was awful. That was just awful. Young kids doing stupid stuff. Awful. Awful. That was the worst thing in the world. But we learned throughout this whole case that there was DNA found inside the home. And it wasn't until Brian Koberger got arrested, which we were there for that as well. And that happened on November 30th. We were literally in front of 1122 King Road. There was they had the cleaning crew. This was the day the cleaning crew was coming to the house to remediate all the chemicals, all the blood, take the stuff out, get the stuff over to the parents and or law enforcement. I don't remember. But I remember the big, huge crew because there was so much ice on the road. We were scared that these trucks were going to start sliding back and hitting one of us. And it would, it can be very dangerous in those conditions. I've got to say, I saw a lot of cars sliding in Idaho when we went back the second time. It was a lot of mush and slush for both of the trips in November as well as December. But we were there, and the 30th, this is, we always talk about God on this channel. We're going to read the language. I almost forgot about the language letting go. So I'm going to take a little segue and read the language letting go after this comment. But we always talk about how God moves mountains, how God just moves mountains. And I've got to say, this is how amazing, and we don't look at these signs, in my opinion. But Kaylee and Maddie obviously were best friends. They were like sisters. The families were almost blended families, even though they weren't a married family, right? It was Christy and Steve and Maddie's parents, but it was kind of a blended family, so to speak. And they just loved each other. So they kind of captured the attention. And I think it was really them too that really, all the kids matters. I'm not trying to take away, but I think really that the bond that those two have really grasped a lot of us, our heartstrings, just that beautiful friendship, that bond that they had. But I forget where I was going with this, but either way, it sucked us in. But that morning, we went out there for the cleaning crew. That was the same day that they were having the celebration of life for Kaylee and Maddie. And I can personally tell you, because I interviewed Christy and Steve personally, that one of their biggest fears that day was seeing people at this celebration of life and getting hugs from people and shaking people's hands, not knowing if they're going to be hugging or shaking the hand of the person that murdered their daughter. Tell me that doesn't give you chills and goosebumps. That was their biggest fear. Really, at that day, I can tell you, was one of their biggest fears. And talk about the power of God, that Brian Koberger was arrested hours, and I mean hours, before their celebration of life. Making sure that Christy, Steve, and Maddie's parents could enjoy there's no enjoyment in the celebration of life of their child. But I should say, without the fear of knowing that the monster that put their children there is not going to be hugging them or shaking their hand. That was at least the little bit of comfort that both of those families had that day. And that is powerful to me. Those are beautiful signs that I think we should all look at and take into consideration, because had things been any different, even one day different, the fear that both of those families would have had at that moment, when they should have been able to celebrate their children and their children's life and their sacrifice. And that is exactly what it was. They were sacrificed. No matter how you look at this, murder is a sacrifice. And they were beautiful people. All four of those kids were going to do amazing things. They really were. But one of the things is the DNA on the knife sheath that was found near Maddie in the upstairs, the third floor where Maddie and Kaylee were at. That's where they found this knife sheath. That knife sheath on the button snap had DNA evidence. And so here's the issue. The defense is going to try to allege, and I'm going to put this to bed right now. They're going to try to allege that this was a party house, potentially, that this was a party house. I want to caution the defense in going down this strategy, because play the tape through. Let's play the tape through. First of all, we're not going to re-victimize the victims. You know, they're university kids. Everybody had a party house. Let's be honest, right? Everybody on campus had a party house. But the DNA is not left on sheets or a wall. They're not left on a pillow or a fork or a cup. They're not left on a picture or a faucet or, you know, the flusher on the toilet. It was found on the knife sheath. A foreign object that did not belong in that house that came into that house with the assailant. Not on the doorknobs either. It was found on the knife sheath. So before the defense wants to drag this family and drag these victims, I hope they play the tape through, because you just can't go and scream this is a party house. Okay, so let's play it's a party house. Brian Kohberger was there for a party. Great. Where did the knife sheath come from? Can you still explain how his DNA got on the button snap? Asking for a few friends. Asking for a few friends. How did it get there? One of the most important parts of this DNA is what we know is that this is a party house, according to this attorney, Rice, in a new documentary clip. I can't talk this morning. It's a Saturday. And we're up ridiculously early. We know that there was hundreds of kids in this house. You're right. There was hundreds, and let's break this down piece by piece. You're right. There were hundreds of kids in this house, but every DNA was identified except 3, right? We only have 3 male DNAs in that house that we were told were not identified at the time of this. Have they been recently identified? We don't know, and we're not going to know. But there was 3. So we've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in this house, but we only have 3 unidentified DNAs. And are we misrepresenting those 3 unidentified DNAs? Could one of those unidentified DNAs be actually Brian Kohberger, and they just didn't tell us? So when he was identified as one of those 4 and 3 DNAs, there was only 2. Is it possible? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But I just find it odd, because out of hundreds of kids, everybody else was identified. Just saying. And still, how did we get at what party did he touch a knife sheath? And whose knife sheath did he touch? Who's plan B, Nancy Taylor? Who are you going to throw under the bus? Who is your plan B, babe? We know plan B is coming, right? We know a plan B is coming. If you don't know what a plan B is in law, learn what it is. But plan B, she's going to plan B somebody. And the thing is, if he was in the house, are you suggesting that these 4 knew everybody who's been there? I doubt that. So they're going to be trying. In the vigil at 8 minutes, you can see Brian with 2 friends. I looked at that photo, Truth. I got to say, I don't think that was Brian. I really don't think that was Brian. I have looked at the hairline. I've looked at the nose. From a distance, grainy, yeah, it does look like Brian. It does. But when you actually get a clearer a clearer picture of it, you can see more defined features in him. And I don't think that was him. I really don't. I think that was somebody that looked like him, but I don't think that was him. I also think that person was just a tad bit too tall as well. But again, I don't know. It was a grainy, image we could only clean it up so much. Really, and I don't know if you're. I'm sure you find another. I found another figure, not the one you mean. Oh, okay. Well, I'm interested in that. You can send that over to Bullhorn. Betty, point it out too if you know how to do like put like stuff there just to explain a little. I'm one of those, like, you got to point it out for me. You got to put a big old circle on it and have flashing lights. Ooh. I might miss it. Elsie, nice to see you. Good morning. So, yeah, and November Rain is reminding everybody, if you have not gone out and liked this video, please do. You only see me this raw every now and again. But I we haven't been around for a little minute. We're getting back on track. We're getting, the noise and the BS just moved on out of here. And we're just, hanging and talking true crime, right? So this attorney Rice, which is not involved in this case at all, is basically giving us some ideas of, possible defense and trial strategy for the defense. And they're saying they're going to be challenging this DNA, which we know they are. There's no doubt in my mind. Put a 1 or a 2. If you really believe that Brian is going to be challenging the DNA, I feel like I don't want to make you guys feel stupid. I really don't. I think everybody knows this, but you never know. Maybe some people don't understand this stuff, and I don't want anybody feeling stupid because we're here to learn, right? And there's no dumb questions. So, but put a 1 in the chat if you believe they're going to challenge the DNA, and if you don't believe they're going to challenge the DNA, put a 2 in the chat. And we're going to go down to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So stay for those as well. And as a matter of fact, I probably need to write them down so I don't forget, because I'm old as dirt and an old geezer, and you know how we have Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So, yeah, exactly. So they're going to be challenging the DNA. They're going to be challenging. Well, I won't do 5 and 6. I'm just gonna go through the list. Yeah, Dylan. They're going to be challenging Dylan and her citing of Brian and her description of Brian. And they're going to be challenging her on a lot of different things, because there was an 8-hour, hey, Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl. Nice to see you, Tammy. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning. I don't think I said hi to you this morning. Good morning, love. Did I miss anybody else? I think we got everybody. Nurse Sandy, good morning. Michelle, good morning. And I don't think I said hi to you, Truth. So good morning to you as well. I was talking to you, as you know, but I don't think I said good morning. So good morning. And Bookworm. So those are some key factors. And I know we kind of got beat up a little bit here on this channel, because we were addressing some of these cases when it was really raw, because we were a little shocked when we read the probable cause affidavit for the first time, and we saw that Dylan actually saw the assailant leaving the house. And then we find out, after she saw the assailant leave the house, she waited another 8 hours before calling, or somebody waited at least 8 hours before calling law enforcement. We're also hearing that the door was open around 9 to 9:30. We also learned that it's possible. Now, I haven't heard this from a law enforcement. Oh, you graduated. Southern Grammy Wolf. Congratulations. Congratulations. I hope you guys can hear that. Are my effects working today? If my effects are working, you never know. I tried to serenade you, and I wanted to have my echo on. Right? It sounds better with the echo, right? Oh, so lonesome for you. Right? Sounds so much better, right? Sounds so much better. I like, you gotta have it right? Yeah, you gotta have it right. All right, I'm done serenading you. I don't need to quit my day job. I'm a content creator, okay? I'm not a singer. But hey, you never know. When I get to Whitney Houston's level, you guys are gonna see the backside of me. I'm gonna be running. You're gonna see dust. You're gonna see dust. I'm gonna be going to get the real bills. I'm just joking. Hey, you never know, right? You never know what God has in store for each and every one of us. And as a matter of fact, this is a great time. This is a great time just to go ahead and take a few minutes. This is a long little reading here, guys, but then we'll get back to Brian Kohberger. Today is November 11th, and it's Create a Path with Heart. I've reached my career and my family goals, a successful woman in her late 30s said. Now it's time to start taking care of myself. I'm going to begin by revolving to spend 1 hour each week doing something I want to do. 1 hour? What a small percentage of time to devote to doing what you want. Yet how easy it is to fall into the trap of denying what we want to do. We may call it God's will for our lives. We may legitimately be in a situation where our responsibilities, including our commitments to others, consume our time. And sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do to accomplish the things that we want. The trap is when our entire life begins to shift over to the should be doing category. This is what I should be doing in my career. This is what I should be doing for my family. This is where I should live. This is probably how I should spend my spare time. This is what I should be doing in my religion or my spirituality. This is what I should be doing with my money, my time, my energy. Who said? Take a moment. Examine whose shoulds are you running or are running your life. Are the things you tell yourself you need to be doing true expression of your legitimate goals, responsibilities, commitments? Or have you wandered so far from yourself that your life is no longer a genuine expression of who you are and what you want in your heart? How many hours a week do you spend doing what you want to be doing or doing what you need to be doing for others? What do you want? Whether it's sobriety, a family, or a career that's right for you, how many hours a week are you spending on what you think you should be doing, whether you need to or not? Question mark, right? Big question mark. Getting the things we want in life entails responsibility. We need to tend to our liberations, the career we want, the family we want, and our avocations as well. Tend to the things we've set free. But don't forget to tend to the liberation of yourself too. Maybe the things you're grumbling about doing are part of doing what you want. If that's the case, stop grumbling and thank God. Maybe you've forgotten that maybe you've forgotten that things you are doing are what you really want to do. Maybe you need to assess your daily life. You'll realize some of the things you're doing aren't necessary, aren't what you want, and won't lead you where you want to go. You're telling yourself you have to, but you don't. Start today by spending 1 hour doing something you want to do. In time, you may want to increase it to 2 hours a day. Eventually, you may want to get to a place where your shoulds interact with your wants. That's when you've created and are walking the path with heart. God, help me find a path with heart. Help me walk one. I'm on the walk of heart. Okay, there you go. Language of letting go. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. I always love the reading. Quit doing things for everybody else. Reevaluate your life. Find out if this is the direction you want to go and make the necessary changes. If there's weight holding you down, if it's a horrible relationship, a piece of shit guy, drop them. Move on. Let him have the ugly fat woman, right? No big deal. No big deal. If you have that horrible job with that horrible boss, dump him. Move on. When one door closes, another one will open. Right? If your children are acting up and you can't control them, it's time to start looking at boarding schools or counseling. You are not powerless, and you can walk the path that you choose. All right, enough for the philosophy. Bullhorn Betty, right? We love God. We love God. This is a Christian faith-based channel, and it's sponsored by the people for the people, right? So getting back to Brian Koberger, we're going to be having this issue with the DNA and then challenging the DNA. What do we got going on here? Super chat. Oh, I missed a super chat. I am so sorry. We got a girl coming. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. I'm just going to go through them all. Why not? It's a party up in here. you know, the man is in trouble, right? It's going to be like this. That little girl's going to be wrapped around someone's finger. Don't let Bullhorn Betty babysit, right? Don't let Bullhorn Betty babysit. Because if you let me babysit, your child will be jacked up on candy and have a bullhorn when I send him home. Or her home. This is a girl, right? Bullhorn Betty. All right. This is for you, Sailor. This is for you. It's a girl! It's a girl. Oh, congratulations. Oh my gosh. You just made, my cheeks are hurting. You made me smile. That's so cute. That's so cute. All right. All right. Enough partying. And I don't think this sounds like kisses, but hey, I'm going to throw you one anyways. Big ol' hugs and kisses. We are so happy for you. That's truly, truly, truly. We're very, very happy for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. So now on not so good news, right? We go, man, this is really an emotional roller coaster here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Like, right? We're going from yay, 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 yay. Now we're about to start crying, right? We're about to start crying as over 4 people. I don't know. I think we're an emotional channel at this point. Live from Hawaii. Well, good morning. You're one of those crazy people that are up entirely too early with us. Well, good morning. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So let's get back to some Brian Kohberger stuff and the DNA, because there is a few things here that are going to be brought up. And I just brought up, the house party, even this attorney, the Daily Mail wrote an article about it. And what is the New York Post about? Hold on here. Is it about the same thing? Hold on here. Yeah, it's the same thing. So apparently this, when you have, in lack of news, you go create news, right? And how do we create news in the media world? Well, we call an attorney, right? We call an attorney and ask them for their opinion. It always creates a windstorm, right? And some clickbait titles, right? Like, they're going to use the house as a house party because some attorney that's not connected to the case says, hey, the defense most likely will bring up that this is a house party. And that's how his DNA got there. Well, was the knife at the house party? Was the knife sheath at the house party? I mean, was it shaking a leg out there? I mean, tell me more about how this knife sheath, has legs and arms and can boogie. I'm just wondering. Because it seems like it boogied all the way from the Wazoo campus on over to the Idaho campus. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure this out. At what point and at what party did Brian Kohberger pick up a knife sheath and start rubbing his DNA all over it? I'm just curious. But it's nowhere else in the house, apparently, right? But it's on a knife sheath that doesn't even come from the house. So let's play this tape through. At what house party did he accidentally drop his military style knife that ended up going into the chest of 4 university students? I'm just curious, Attorney Rice. Just curious. I'm just a little over here, just trying to, scratch my head and figure out how this is all going to work out for the defense. Because, I like attorneys actually having common sense when they're going to be in major publications like, the Daily Mail and the New York Post. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have a law license, and I would have probably provided a little more detail than this nonsense about how they're going to try to disparage the victims yet again. Ancy Kohberger, might as well be, right? Ancy Kohberger. Ancy Taylor, I'm telling you, babe, I may not have a law license, but I'm telling you, bad strategy. Bad strategy. This is what I actually, believe is going to happen. This is, I don't think they're going to touch the house party thing. I don't think they're going to touch the house party thing at all. I think that this attorney Rice is a dumbass. I'm going to say it publicly. I might interview one today. Probably should be a little nicer to the guy, right? Who knows? I'll be like, hey, can I get an interview? You're Bullhorn Betty. You called me an idiot. I'm not giving you shit. Sorry, Mr. Rice. Play the tape through, dude. That's all I'm trying to say. Play the tape through. Because the tape that he's playing is not played through. There's no way they're going to bring up this party house. But I do believe they're going to bring up Dylan. I think they're going to challenge Dylan's eyewitness of this case. I think they are going to challenge the 8-hour window. And I think that somebody else is going to be a plan B. Okay, you guys are probably scratching your head. What in the world is Betty talking about, this plan B? What the hell is a plan B? I know you guys are wanting to know that. Some of you guys know because you guys have been on the show for a long time. And some of you guys are new here and say, what the hell is this plan B? Okay, well, here it is. A plan B is basically somebody else. All right. It's basically throwing it on somebody else, getting somebody on the witness stand and going in their face and blaming them. You have a plan B, another person. Your plan B is another person and blaming everything on another person. So when I ask you who's your plan B, I'm asking, who are you going to say the suspect is? Who are you going to say did this crime? Right? So they're going to plan B somebody because there's an 8-hour window. And that 8-hour window, what they're going to say, this is kind of the strategy that I've manifested in my brain as to what they may do. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm definitely not associated with the defense of Brian Kohberger, so I have no inside information, just like everybody else, right? But I do have a brain, and I do have an opinion. And my opinion, my brain is telling me my opinion is, right? My brain is telling me my opinion is that they're going to most likely say that you're right. He was in the house that night. Maybe he has an underwear fetish. I don't know what they're going to say. Who knows? Yes, he was there, but everybody was alive when he left, right? Everybody was alive when he left. And therefore, that's why Dylan watched him walk out the door, because if he was this crazy mass murderer, when he was in the house, he would have, what? Killed her. And he didn't. He let her live. I think, Xana, I know the location will play a part. Yeah, I think so too. And there's so much truth that we just don't have. There's so much information that we really just don't have. So it's one of those. I'm picking up what you're laying down. What am I laying down? That's how rumors get started. Hey, baby. I need to stop. It looks like Betty got some rest last night. I don't know. That swear jar, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I know. And I've got to put some more money into it. I haven't gotten to the bank. But the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching jar has got to get filled up. We did raise over $100 and I think 50 cents for Jennifer Santinello, and because it was already over $100 that day, I didn't put the money in the, like, physically get the cash and put it in the jar. I just sent her the cash digitally. So thank you all that raised the money. This is something that Sonia is really working on to try to bring awareness to this. And this is for the swear jar / cuss jar. This has got prices on it. We're trying to raise money for the Santinello family through doing horrible acts of words. We're giving back through vulgar language, okay? We are giving back through vulgar language because we know YouTube is filled with it, right? We know we can raise money on this platform, right? We know we can. So Sonia's really trying hard to get all the content creators out there. Michelle, I know you're over the pond, but we could use your help, right? We could use your help. Duty Ron, I know you don't cuss, but hey, you can raise money from people that cuss in your chat, right? Well, you'll cuss every now and then. I've seen you a little hot under the collar, right? So we're trying to raise money for a missing child that has a child that her mom's taking care of. Her name's Layla Santinello, and she disappeared on June 27th, 2023 from Kingsport, Tennessee. We're raising money for her. So if anybody would like to participate in the cuss jar is for the content creators, but each and every one of you, the audience, gets to help fill it. So if you guys would like to participate, you can always send money through CashApp, PayPal, and Venmo, but I really don't want it to go through there. I'd love it to be here. I'm contributing whatever YouTube is taking out of it. So that's my contribution to the Santinello family. So for example, you guys say one of you paid $10, put $10 on here. Google, YouTube takes a percentage of that. I don't just make 100% of what I create here on YouTube. YouTube takes a cut, right? They're basically the manager. Like, we give you the platform to make money. We're taking a cut of your money because we've given you the platform to make money. So that cut of money, I'm fulfilling. So for example, say our cut is, like YouTube's cut's 45% out of $10, that's $4.50. So technically only $5.50 is going forward, right? So I am actually that $4.50 that YouTube is getting, I am actually putting that in. So if you give $10, your full $10 goes to Jennifer Santinello. Dolly is going to be doing it. Awesome. Dolly will probably make a hell of a lot more. That man cusses. Oh, Lord, that man needs Jesus. He needs baby Jesus with that mouth. Maybe he needs a piece of his own soap, just not the mocha latte. He might like it too much. I might like it too much. That's terrible. That's a huge percentage. It is a huge percentage, but that's okay. Again, this is a fundraiser, and I don't mind. The reason why I want it done through the channel and why I'm eating that 45% is because I want people to see it. And I just don't think people are able to see it through Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. And it's really about, and I don't mind spending a little bit of money to get the message out. And it's going for a good cause, right? We love Jennifer Santinello. We love Layla Santinello. This is such an unfortunate situation. There's more young ladies out in Kingsport, Tennessee that are missing. They're missing from the same hotel Layla went missing from. It's really gut wrenching. We're really trying right now to plan a trip. It needs to be a thorough trip. And it won't be for extended period of time. So it's only going to be for a day or two. So it's got to be very, very impactful. I've got to identify my locations and get out there, get my job done, and get back. I'm not quite sure when that'll be. We have a chef in Georgia that's missing right now. And you know how I feel when people start missing, and they've been missing and off things. I just start getting that gut wrenching feeling that, something really, really bad happened. And so those are two cases that I'm probably going to put my hands on over the next couple weeks, either right before Thanksgiving, during Thanksgiving. I may do it during Thanksgiving because most people are off the roads. It's easier for me to search. People are, doing their own thing and minding their own damn business. And it makes it a lot easier for me to get my job done. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much. I will put that in toward that. Write it down. Thank you, Sonia. So that's that's where we're at. So what do you guys think about this whole house party theory? Do you guys think that this is going to be a reasonable argument? Like, if you were, let's put yourself in as a juror and you're hearing that he turned his phone off. Like, you guys know the information, but we'll just rehatch it just a little bit to kind of put this in, like, if you were a juror and you heard that Brian Kohberger was not supposed to be around that house, nobody knew he was around that house, nobody knew who he was, but yet he was there 12, 13 different times or something to that tune. I know they say 11, but then he was there a day after the murder. I'm confused with the actual number. Thanks, Jess Deb. Aw, love you. The actual number. But he was there, and it appears that he was stalking them. And then it just so happens that the night of the murder, he turns his phone off. A car's been seen going in and out, turning around right in front of their house, a white Elantra with no front tag on it. We find out that there was a weird drive that he took, not the same drive there. He took a weird drive home and stopped somewhere for a little minute. His phone was off during the murders. He was in his car by himself, driving around Moscow during the murders, according to his own attorney. So you're hearing all this, and then you're going to hear in this hearing that, by the way, this was a party house, and, his DNA must have been there when he was at a party. Okay, well, what knife sheath did he touch at that party, and whose was it? So I do think they're going to challenge Dylan. They're going to challenge the 8 hours. I do not feel that they are going to be challenging this house or dubbing this house as a house party. I think that would be a terrible, terrible idea and a terrible trial strategy for Brian Koberger. And I think Ancy Taylor is smart enough to know that. But you know what? I've got to say, like Jay Logsdon, some of his pleadings make me chuckle. I mean, I kind of like his writing style. I have to be honest. He's pretty brash, and I like that. I like that, So I'm interested. So for all those out there, this is going to be a short live. It's Saturday morning, and you guys need to go to bed or fix the kids some breakfast. I don't know what you guys need to do, but you guys are up entirely too early on a Saturday morning. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say much, but I am going to say that. You guys are up entirely too darn early this morning, along with Bullhorn Betty, right? And my gajillionth cup of coffee. But if you do truly believe that Brian Koberger is smart, or maybe I'm not thinking a different side of this, because perspective is everything, and that's what's so great about different people, because they use different parts of their brains and stuff like that. So I'm just curious, who the hell is that? I gotta see this. I have a funny feeling my friend is watching. Is he watching? Well, if you're okay. It was just crazy. So a friend of mine is asking me whether what I'm going to be doing for Thanksgiving. And he's like, well, if you're not going to your mom's, think of me as a plan B. I thought it was a friend watching the show. I just saw plan B, and I was just talking about plan B. So Glenn's not watching. Okay. Where was I going? I just lost my train of thought with that comment, but that's okay. That's okay. So anyways, if for any reason this trial strategy of calling this a party house, maybe there's something I'm not really thinking about. Maybe you guys have another thought, like how it would be effective that I'm just not thinking about. Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know if you think this would be a good trial strategy. I personally think it sounds sad, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but I'm just saying this for defense-wise. It seems to me it would be smarter for them to attack it'll be easier for them to attack Dylan in the 8-hour window than it is this party house theory. That's just my opinion. I really don't know. And we won't know until we start hearing it, right? Because, look at Alec Murdaugh. We thought we knew what they were going to do and how they were going to set this whole entire, what their trial strategy was. And then it had a curveball because of that video making its way to light about Alec being out there at the dog kennel when he lied and said he had never been out there and lied to everybody for years. Like, this was 2 years later, and he's still lying about it up until the moment he gets on the stand, and it was a jaw dropper. He admitted to lying about it all and tried to blame it on drugs. Seriously, dude. You can't make this stuff up. But I think this is a terrible trial strategy. I think they would be more effective. And let me know again. Let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. I would open the phones, but listen, we're going to open the phones. I would say tomorrow, but we're not. We're going to open the phones back up on Monday. We've got the list in for the new names on the membership levels. I will be calling out a winner on Monday. Please go over to the community tab, go down to where you see the black sheets, and it has all the names on it. I took a picture. There's one above it because I noticed it cut when you put it in the big view. It cuts off the whole bottom section, so you're missing two of the things. So just look at the one above and make your selection on the one that shows all of them. There's 2 pages. There's a total, hey, 3 Dot, nice to see you. There's a total of 10 options there. So pick your favorite one, and we're going to be changing our membership levels, and whoever wins that membership level is going to be getting a free Bullhorn Betty membership, Bullhorn Betty shirt or hat Sonia's going to give you what you want, and Bullhorn Betty is sponsoring it. So that's going to be your gift from the Bullhorn Betty channel for this contest winner. So make it, make your vote count, right? Make your vote count. So this is the end of the show, folks. We're at 1 hour. It's Saturday morning. I promise you we will be here tomorrow because I've taken enough time off. I'm not going to do 2-hour lives on my weekends. We may do another live if something comes up in my research today where I want to talk about something a little later today after you guys wake up and get the crust out of your eyes and have like a gajillion gallons of coffee and wake up. Okay? All right, guys, it's been real. It's been fun, and it has been real fun. Go make it a great day, and God bless. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, especially in the comment box below.